Welcome back to another thrilling recap. Today, we're unraveling the electrifying narrative of Lucy Koval. So, buckle up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm James, and this is Recap 3.0. Along the way, they communicate with each other. The woman notices that Lucy has heterochromatin and says that a different eye color is associated with two different souls, each of which can enter through one eye and exit through the other. The girl laughs at the superstition. She does not believe what Madame Wilson says at home and begins to introduce Lucy to her future wards. The first in line is Andrew, who means daily injections. They go into his room, and the man, looking at Lucy, thinks that she's his granddaughter. Mary Wilson reminds him that his granddaughter is no longer with them and asks him to sit still while he is given the medicine. The girl volunteers to make an injection wound, carefully observes the process, and remains satisfied with how Lucy copes with the syringe and does everything carefully. They go to the next guardian. A line woman named Mary ships over herself, and Lucy must have cleaned up after her, but mistook Lucy for the last patient. Her house is in the countryside. When they arrive, a woman asks the girl to sit in the car. It is too early for her to get acquainted. Lucy does not understand what is unique about a person who lives in this house but remains in the car through the window. She surveys the surroundings, and soon, she is not restrained and goes out of the car. She enters a large mansion that is in an untidy state. It is dark and chaotic inside. The windows are closed everywhere. Lucy goes up to the second floor, looking at the paintings on the walls and stuffed birds and animals along the way. She enters one of the rooms where she finds an older woman. Madame Wilson is standing nearby. She is not angry. The girl disobeyed and entered the house. On the contrary, she praises her, saying that she has all the abilities to become a good nurse. The woman says that the name of the lying older woman is Deborah Gazelle in the past. She was a famous dance teacher. People came to her to study, even from Paris. One asked Lucy to open the windows to ventilate the room. "Girl, this is a rack of books in Minna," and Wilson allows her to choose any of them. Lucy walks along the books for a long time and finally decides on a small collection. She opens it, and a moth flies out of it. Unnoticed by Lucy, Madame's face changes, but she quickly comes to her senses. There is a blood transfusion bag next to Gisèle's bed. Wilson offers Lucy to change the old package for a new one, taking it out of the bag. Lucy wonders why an older woman needs a transfusion, but Madame says that she does not know because she's not a doctor. Medicine tells us that Deborah is wealthy and hides many treasures. Miriam Wilson brings Lucy back to the port. They agreed to meet the next day. Madame leaves and meets a girl on a country road. A woman is overseeing her. Meanwhile, Lucy is waiting for the evening when a fishing boat approaches the harbor. From a ship came her beloved man, William. She waits for the guy to unload the fish, after which they head to the local bar. The girl talks about her workday and about the old mansion in which a half-dead older woman lives. She informs William that there is probably a treasure hidden in the older woman's house that no one has found so far. Such news greatly excites the guy. He offers to be the first to see the treasure. The girl does not want to rob the older woman, but William reminds her that his family needs this money because after the death of his mother, his father has to work 2 jobs, and he is tired of constantly fishing for a penny. The couple, Coral and Lucy, leave her home at this time, and Wilson sits in her bathroom at home and fills the bags with blood. Nearby lies the lifeless body of the girl she met earlier in the day. A woman prepares blood for Giselle. Lucy returns home, and her father announces that his new girlfriend will soon move into their house. The girl does not understand how her father was able to find a new woman so quickly because her mother died only 8 months ago. The man calmly claims that she committed suicide and it was her choice. Lucy has a vision of her mother stroking her cheek, saying, "Make the girl," calls William and agrees to a robbery. They meet up with their buddy Ben and head to Gisèle's house. William gives everyone masks made from pillowcases, but Lucy and Ben refuse to wear them. They leave the car in the forest and continue on foot. Having reached the territory of the mansion, friends jump over the fence and run the house. All doors and windows are closed. Young robbers get inside through the basement window. They walk around the ruins in search of something valuable. Lucy offers to leave, but William is against it. He will only go somewhere once he finds at least something useful. In the dark, Ben stumbles upon a stuffed wolf, and frightened, breaks a nearby face. The group enters one of the rooms that resembles a nursery. Inside, there is a children's tea table with creepy toys. They tried to go into another room, but it was closed. Lucy remembers that there is a key around Gisele's neck that will surely open this door. They enter the older woman's room, and the girl carefully takes the key from her. However, when William tries to open the locked door, it turns out that the key does not fit. Then Ben breaks down the door, and they go inside. But it's empty. In the middle of the room stands the figure of a man covered with a curtain. William pulls it off, and the robbers discover the corpse of Gisele's daughter. Lucy understands that she is the main treasure of the older woman. Angry, William beats the girl's body, after which they begin to hear some noise from the upper floor. Friends decide to run away from the mansion. But when the burglars return to the basement through which they came, they find the bars on the window. They realize that they are locked up. Lucy remembers that there is a window in Gisele's room that has no bars, and a group heads to the older woman's room. When they arrive, they find that the older woman has disappeared. William tries to open the window, but it is locked. Meanwhile, Ben examines a nearby mirror. He touches it, disappears, and finds himself in another dimension. Friends begin to call him and look for him. Ben does not understand where he is. He starts to look around and realizes that there is no door in the room. He examines test tubes with incomprehensible contents. There is a noise in the room, and he is suddenly attacked by 3 figures in white dresses and killed, after they suddenly disappear, leaving the bloody body of a guy on the floor. Meanwhile, William unsuccessfully tries to break the window. Lucy looks at old photographs and finds out that Gisele's daughter's name is Anna. She goes back to the children's room while she is looking through the closet with clothes. Giselle appears in the room. Lucy sits down at the table beside her and holds out her hands. The older woman gives her memories from the past when she was a teacher at the dance school. She expelled one of the girls, Ophelia, from the classroom for her poor performance in the exercise. When the student enters the locker room and does not look for a moment, later, a child screams from the room. Giselle enters Emma's room and sees her eating Ophelia. She's angry at her and says that you can only kill strangers. The girl runs out of the room into the street after walking a few steps. She begins to vomit blood and she falls to the ground. Her body soars above the ground and her skin begins to turn black. Giselle comes up to her, repeating that she does not confuse day and night, and brings her back into the house. At this time, William is also trying to break open the window to get out. Hears someone calling his name as he walks down the hallway and spots Ben with a pillowcase over his head. William takes it off and finds that he's covered in blood. Suddenly, Ben attacks a friend during the struggle. William sticks scissors into him and then kills him. Giselle was watching him all this time, hiding in the dark. She attacks him from behind and bites his throat. Lucy hides in the room of Anna's corpse. She begins to examine it. And she again has memories from the girl's past where Giselle makes her dance. She's not happy with the exercise and it makes her harder and harder, accidental in breaking her bones. Lucy begins to tell Anna that she did not die but broke. Anna starts moving like a doll and suddenly attacks the girl between them. Fight ensues. Lucy bites off a piece of her neck and hits her in the face, after which Anna falls and stops moving. Suddenly, Madame Wilson enters the room and punches Lucy in the stomach. After a while, Lucy wakes up and finds that she is tied to the table, and Brown Wilson is standing nearby. When asked by the girl what she's doing, the woman replies that she's just doing her job. Madame recalls her childhood, and when she was also a student of Giselle. When the teacher drove all the girls out of the house, Wilson did not run away and stayed in the mansion. She washes. The teacher implanted a mechanism in their spine that allowed her to move from childhood. She became Giselle's assistant. Giselle enters the room, cuts the girl's stomach with her fingernail, and stuffs a moth larva into it. Then she puts precisely the same larva on Anna's neck. Giselle shows up. Lucy's eyes, at the last moment, see the silhouette of her mother watching the larva turn into Mars and fly to Anna and Lucy's mouse. The soul ends up in Lucy's body, and she regains consciousness. Looking at herself in the mirror, she cannot believe that she has become a human. Madame Wilson turns on the music, and Giselle orders her daughter to dance. However, she does not listen to her. She kills Wilson and then cuts Mother's throat. She approaches her body, which now contains Lucy, and cuts the threads that bind her eyes. They come to their senses when the girls return together to Giselle's room to pick up the keys to the front door. Giselle attacks them together. The girls win and throw her off the top floor. They then spend the night together in the same bed. In the morning, she goes outside. Lucy takes cover in a dark row, and the two of them go to the cliff where Lucy falls off the cliff, and the wind picks her up and takes her away. And that's a wrap-up of today's movie recap. If you enjoyed the journey through this cinematic adventure, remember to give us a thumbs up, subscribe for more engaging content, and hit the notification bell to stay in the loop. Your support keeps the stories flowing on Recap 3.0. Until next time, happy watching.